Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be talking to Tobe Decraene, a standout player for the Belgian national and under-24 squads in 2023.
You have a technique which I love. I think we've got a clip.
Yeah, I think that's with the new travel rule. I just learned it this year. First time I heard the new rule that you don't have to slow down anymore. I just felt like it's a bit of a loophole in the system, so I wanted to use it in my advantage as much as possible. On the clip you see it, I do it in a rather slow pace, but you can also do it like really fast and then it's more of a killer. I just learned this year how to play like motion and the give goes, the fast play, so it's another asset to my skill set.
If you can catch and throw whilst just maintaining your speed, then people could just be running around catching and throwing, just jogging between each other. If everyone did that, like whenever they could, then just like so many passes would be easy and so much movement would be easy. But honestly, you do this on the field, out of 14 people, someone's going to call travel, right?
Yeah, the USA guys don't really get it. But I have a point in the USA-Belgium game as well where I do like 10 passes in a row and they didn't call it on the first 5 and then after that they start calling it.
Right. So I think we should settle whether it is or not, right? You said the USA players had a reason for calling that.
They told me after the game that in the US the rules are different and you have to slow down.
Ruben Berg went on the Eurozone podcast after the rules change and said specifically that the update to the travel rule was to be more in line with the US. So, interesting take from the US players.
Damn Yankees.
Okay, so to clear up any ambiguity that there might be in either rule set, here's Ruben Berg.
Here we have a really significant change. It depends on how you've been playing previously or not, but it's to get us back in line with USAU in this regard. The give-go play. This is the best way to describe it. It used to be that you're running, you catch it, and you wanted to get off a quick pass. You had to have been still slowing down in the previous rules and had to have a ground contact when you actually threw the disc. We've removed that limitation now, and you can throw while running or jumping. You can release the pass without reducing speed and without having a ground contact, as long as you do not change direction or increase speed, and that a maximum of 2 additional points of contact with the ground are made after the catch and before you releasing the pass. So you've got those 2 points of contact after the catch, additional points of contact before which you have to release the disc, and if you release it after that, that becomes a travel. We are allowing those quicker give-goes now. It's just, did they release it prior to those 2 steps? They could be in the air, they could be maintaining speed, but they must still not increase speed and not change direction.
Okay, so with this in mind, let's take a look closer. In this example, Tobe catches in the air, he takes 1-2 steps and he throws just before 3. There's no speeding up or changing of direction, so there's no travel, and this travel call due to Tobe not slowing down is incorrect.
To Decraene connecting, but a travel call.
In this clip, it looks like he catches at the same time as his left foot hits the ground. He takes 2 additional steps and then releases long before his 3rd ground contact. If the catch happens in the air, then the left foot here would count as the 1st additional ground contact, which would mean this is a travel. It looks like he catches it just fractionally after his foot touches down though. It doesn't look like he speeds up, however he does slightly change direction, bending his run while the disc is in his hands. Is this enough to warrant a travel call? Well, the rules state that players must only make a call where the breach is significant enough to make a difference to the outcome of the action. That's true in WFDF and USAU. It'd be hard to argue that this direction change changed the outcome of this play, so I'm saying this one is no travel too, but if the disc was caught a fraction of a second earlier when he was in the air, then it would have been a travel due to too many steps. I don't think this is what the USA players are saying was the violation though. They're talking about the maintaining of constant speed, and we now know that that's legit. In this example, Tobe catches and releases nice and quickly. He's well within the footwork limits on both the catch and the throw. However, his run is bending, going from crossfield to downfield. If you measure his footfalls, then this bend is very slight, but judging by the centre of mass, it's a clear change of direction. The question then is, does this make a difference to the outcome of the action? The answer, I think, is yes, because his momentum was taking him to the other side of this defender until his run curved to beat them downfield. Travel due to change in direction. Here we have a high speed example. In terms of footwork, Tobe catches with his left foot down, he steps onto the right and he releases in the air. so only 1 point of additional ground contact after the catch, which means they had a whole nother step they could have used. I don't think there's any change of direction, but there could be acceleration. It doesn't look obvious, so it's probably not significant enough to make a difference to the play. So I'm saying no travel on this one. Here we have another change of direction. Although the footwork is good, the centre of mass changes, which opens up the angle for this throw that otherwise would have been blocked by the defender. He does have to lurch to his right to secure the catch, but the direction change after that was unnecessary and significant enough to make a difference to the outcome of the action. Travel due to change in direction. The remaining examples are all good with no travels, maximum 2 additional ground contacts after catching, not speeding up or changing direction. So say you catch the disc on the run and you're using up your 2 additional ground contacts whilst keeping your speed, but then the option in front of you changes and you decide not to throw the disc. That's what happens here. Tobe's striding with the disc after catching, and then he stops and then he makes a throw. This clip actually is a travel because if a player is trying to run with the disc but they change their mind and then stop without releasing the pass after more than 2 additional points of ground contact, then this is a travel by the WFDF rules due to not decelerating as quickly as possible after catching and before coming to a stop. Note that if you're releasing the disc at the same time as your foot goes down or as your back foot comes up, then it can look like a travel. What Tobe does well is to stride whilst he has the disc in his hand, so he's not taking fast steps, he's taking slow but long strides. And not only does this make his footwork clearer, but it buys him a little bit more time to get the disc out of his hands. The key phrase for any discussion will be that you release the disc before your 3rd additional ground contact after catching. It feels much more natural to catch the disc when you're in the air and then land 1, 2 and throw. But if you catch in the middle of your stride with your foot down, then the 1, 2 additional ground contacts come later and it buys you a bit of time. I think the key thing here is to reduce your cadence, to slow down the speed of your footfalls so you stay striding throughout the catch and throw. How useful is this move though? Maintaining flow in any offense is a good thing. It prevents the defense from setting or getting a handle on the situation. Moving the disc opens up undefended angles of attack. Being able to keep your velocity means automatically providing a return option for the person you pass to, which at best can be hit and sustains flow, and at a minimum it provides a threat which the defense has to cover. In this clip, the threat of a return pass takes 2 Japanese defenders, opening up space and separation for Decraene. The effectiveness of the move when advancing towards the end zone at speed is clear. The disc moves quickly and the return pass is a threat which the defense must commit bodies to stopping. If you're in front of your original mark and you do this move going towards the end zone, then it means the defense is in scramble mode trying to cover you and there's a high chance of a goal. Even in simple backfield positions, throwing whilst running takes less energy than decelerating, and it offers a return option which takes the attention of the nearest defender and affords his teammate a little bit more space and time. Running the disc across the back is a quicker and safer and more dynamic way of swinging the disc across the field. If all the players in the backfield moved like this, then there would be more threats at different times which the defense would need to cover, and the offense would be less predictable. Here we see the threat of this move draw in a poaching defender, and the teammate in the backfield is momentarily wide open. Unfortunately, this isn't cashed in on soon enough with the move from this player forwards or laterally, although another open pass is found quickly. If we look again, we can see that they allow themselves to get disconnected from the play and they don't react to the poach. They should be thinking about attacking this space in front of them and towards the disc as soon as the opportunity arises. As soon as this move happens, they should be pushing forwards with the disc, so at the moment of the fake, they would be in a better position to punish the poach quickly, going in any one of these directions. So the poach can be punished pretty severely, but imagine the position Belgium would have been in without the poach. The defense penetrated the disc just outside the end zone with forward momentum and no force, very likely to score against even the best defenders. With the poach, then, even if they hit the open player aggressively, they still have their defenders in front of the disc, so it's a great poach, even though it could have been punished more effectively. To summarise, Tobe Decraene's run and gun loophole can sustain flow and build upon attacks, maintaining the offensive advantage. It requires quick hands and decision making to complete passes without risk of a turnover. It's best done with slow strides, and care must be taken not to change direction. It's exciting to see this move being used to good effect already in the World Championship Final. Tobe's just one player on one team who has been intentionally integrating this move into his game for under a year. So with more practice, and with a whole team who are trained and able to do this, I'm looking forward to see what offensive attacks can look like in the future. I ran a training session in the middle of a storm to introduce this run and gun move to my team. So if you'd like to see the exercises, drills, the modified games that we use to build players' skill sets up and how it turned out during that session, then that video is available now at the training tier on the Hive Patreon. Thanks to all our patrons for contributing to us being able to keep producing content like this, and also thanks to Double Happiness, the excellent global sportswear company we've been working with to bring a line of Hive merchandise to the community. Look out for that coming soon, and check out Double Happiness for all your kit needs. I hope learning about this move has been interesting and useful for you. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again soon.